Welcome in, Husker Nation. This is the place to be, so you are in the right place. Isn't that good to know? Nebraska Live, 63rd time, here with Greg Peterson from Husker Online. So get yourself settled, but before you do, hit the like button. Get that out of the way. Just go ahead and hit the like button. And since most of you that are watching me right this second, it's not right this second, you're watching the replay because most of you that are watching live haven't caught up yet to see the show. Hit the like button regardless of whether you're watching on the record or watching live. But here we go with Nebraska football talk. This is what we do on Tuesday night, so settle on in. Greg, how's it going?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How about you, Mark?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Well, this is the week of the spring game.
Yeah, Saturday.
So, yeah, that's not a bad thing.
Can't wait to finally see what some of these new guys look like.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So for you folks who can't make it to the stadium, that's the Big Ten Network, 1 Central on Saturday. And I'll be here talking about it.
We were there joking there before we came on that I've seen more Michigan spring football than I have Nebraska. So
that's yeah. Harbaugh and the boys got it out of the way quick, so they're done with. I think they got another practice or two afterwards, but basically done.
They might, but it was funny that yesterday Coach Frost talked to us. He's a new guy, just joined the Nebraska Media Corps from, I think he comes from California via Louisiana, but he actually watched that Michigan spring game and asked Coach Frost if there was going to be a reward of steaks or hot dogs. And Coach Frost just looked at him cross-eyed and said, I don't care what they're doing. So that was probably the highlight of the spring so far, in my opinion.
So no big incentive for the winners?
Hey, we don't really even know what they're going to do. Coach Frost said that there was going to be some kind of an offense versus defense challenge thing. I really don't know. He doesn't like what's going on because there's a lot of injuries going on. A lot of guys that are going to be big contributors in the regular season are not participating in spring right now. So, the numbers are kind of limited on what they can do. I mean, he would rather have them, play a regular football game with two teams. But, we're in limbo right now. We don't really know what's going to happen on Saturday. So I wish I could tell you more.
Is it a big weekend on campus? Do they surround the spring game with other things going on?
Well, it's a big recruiting weekend, obviously, and it's kind of treated more like a regular season game day recruiting weekend, obviously. But there's nothing really, special, outside of the box that they usually would do. It's just a key of them getting kids on campus and kind of showing them what the program's all about, and that's the key. You get them here once, and obviously the spring game's a really good venue for that to happen. That a couple of years ago wasn't even allowed to have official visitors come in for that, but nowadays you kind of treat it as a regular game day weekend and kind of see what Husker Nation's all about and the fan support.
With a couple 4-stars that are going to be on campus.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys coming in. I mean, you read down the list. It's a big mixture of 2023 and 2024 and some 2025 recruits. So we'll kind of see how things go after the weekend goes. But obviously there's a big, some transfer portal type that will also be in town. At least one big name that everybody's kind of waiting for with the first name of Oshan. So he'll be here, and that's probably the biggest news that people are going to want to see which happens. But, don't expect for him to, make a commitment right away. He's still got some official visits to take to some other pretty good programs. So, like I said, the key is just getting kids here on campus for this weekend and kind of see the atmosphere of what all goes on a regular game day.
Right, folks. Appreciate you being here, and leave those comments and questions in the live chat. We will get to them as we talk Nebraska football, and head on over to Husker Online video right here on YouTube and get the latest. And the latest would be, Greg?
I think we just covered it. Sorry to say, No, I mean, we did. We talked. Actually, yesterday was actually kind of cool for one of the post-practice days after Coach Frost had talked. We got to talk to Trey Palmer for the first time, and that was that was one of the better press conferences you might watch and listen to. He's kind of a special guy, and I think that's probably why he was ranked a 5-star coming out of high school. But we also heard from Tommy Hill as well for the first time. And I'm naming guys that have not been available to the media yet as newcomers. So it was kind of cool to hear those two guys, and my impression after listening to them and listening to some of their other teammates and talking with some of their other teammates is that those are going to be your two lead dogs on either side of the ball as far as leadership. With Trey Palmer as a wide receiver and Tommy Hill as a corner, and I think the funny thing is they go up against each other in practice every single rep. It almost sounds like, and there's a pretty hot competition going on there between the two of them, and when you ask them what they like about each other, is that they say that the other guy's a dog, and I love playing against dogs. There's a lot of mutual respect there, and a lot of big time competition between those two guys. If you ask them who's the fastest guy in the team, each one of them will tell you that it's him. So that's kind of cool, a little cool thing that two transfers that have come in here and put their stamp on this team with their teammates here in a short amount of time, just being here in Lincoln. So that's pretty cool. And we also add on Anthony Grant was another guy that we heard from yesterday for the first time. New running back, and he's got a good shot here. I can't wait to see what he looks like on Saturday too, and obviously everybody, all the Husker fans that are chomping at the bit to actually see some of this stuff with their own eyes. That running back room is one of those big time things that people want to see. Obviously, after the quarterbacks with Casey Thompson as well. So,
Tavy, appreciate the questions and comments here in the chat. Tavy's bringing up defensive tackle. Of course, Damien Daniels gone. Ben Stilley's gone.
Yeah.
D tackle.
Well, Ty Robinson obviously is your bell cow right there. He's the guy that you're going to be counting on, the highly touted recruit coming out of Arizona that has already played a lot of football for Nebraska, and he's probably your key if you're going to ask me what you want to see out of Saturday's spring game. Is I want to see that Ty Robinson come out of there healthy and not banged up at all, because he's going to be a big part of it. And then Casey Rogers obviously is another guy there that is going to be a starter, but he has not participated in spring ball. So it's going to be a big opportunity for a lot of other young guys to get a lot of playing time. And that guy in the middle right now is Nash Hushmacher, and he hasn't gotten a lot of playing time yet as a freshman, but the guy's obviously he's the strongest guy on the team. He can lift. I think he could lift a Volkswagen, 2 Volkswagens, one with each arm if he wanted to on the bench press. So Volkswagen Bugs.
Okay.
If people are young enough to remember the Volkswagen Bug, but yeah, and so Saturday, I think it's going to be more of an opportunity to see what some of these other younger guys can do to get some reps in there, because it's no secret that that defensive line is a question mark coming into the season. So
Yeah, if we go back to like 1973, it seems like every third car on the road was a Volkswagen Bug.
yeah, my dad drove a red one.
Yeah. Okay.
And then traded it in and got an AMC Pacer, a white one.
Oh yeah.
So it was an egg, window wagon they called it. So that was actually handed down to me, and it was my first car when I turned 16.
Nice.
So everybody called, "Hey, Pete's got the window wagon. Let's go. Let's jump in that." And I was the oldest person in my class to turn 16. So in ninth grade, I was driving the window wagon, and I was the most popular kid at Lincoln East High School.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yep.
You get the wheels.
Yep.
Aloha, Samuel. Appreciate you being here. So is there something going on with the Husker Radio Network?
Well, that's it's the whole media partnership that Nebraska does that had been for a long time with IMG. And then that contract had ended before last season, and then Nebraska tried to do all their media stuff on their own, and it didn't work well. And these are media partners. Don't get me wrong. It's Nebraska has their own media content. It's just somebody that distributes that. And so they made a new deal, a contract that was, for some ungodly, like $200 million a year type thing with another company. And it ended up that it fell through, and Trev Alberts nixed it. And so they're back open to looking at inking a new deal now. So we'll kind of see where that goes from there.
Colin, appreciate you being here. Want to remind everyone that you can contribute through Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. Just search Mark Rogers TV, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, or you can give in the super chat right here at the Voice of College Football. Colin is wanting to know about Omar Brown. He was one of the biggest transfers to Nebraska football, and of course, he has yet to play it down for the Huskers. But in that 22 class, note the 2019 class coming from Northern Iowa.
Well, he's obviously he just transferred in, so we haven't had a chance to observe anything with him. But I love him. Go to Husker Online video. I have something up on him there. Just search his name in there, and it's got highlights from him in Northern Iowa. And this guy is a stud. I mean, the only thing you can say is that he's a football player. He's a ball hawk. He's an interception machine. Undersized guy that didn't get much of a chance coming out of high school, but he has proven himself, and a very highly coveted addition to this roster. And even without seeing anything, I gotta imagine that he's right up there in the mix to earn one of those starting slots there at the corner.
Moonbot, where's your mic, Mark? See my trackpad here? It's not working. What's wrong with it? All of a sudden, it didn't work.
What's your vector, Victor? What's your vector, Victor?
So no trackpad, no camera, no audio board. If it all goes through here, so I can't control anything. So
I hope everybody out there's watched the movie Airplane at least once in their life.
It's been a long time. I've seen it way more than once, but been a long time. Kyle is asking, Are there any concerns that the spring game is only at about 50%
Good question.
full?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, I think going into the week there was only about 46 or 48,000 tickets sold. Um, so yeah, obviously that's been a big topic. We don't know the numbers since then. So you're kind of thinking that maybe that's up to at least 50,000. Um, obviously there will be walk ups, but I can't imagine you having that many walk ups to make a difference. But yeah, you're kind of looking at right now as it looks is like a venue that's half full. But it's hard to say why. With what's going on in the world right now, the economy, people are money crunching right now. The weather's been hit or miss here. Um, so it's kind of hard to say that I think that people have just like been reluctant to pull the trigger on getting tickets, in advance for this. Because you can still get them in advance, up until probably Saturday morning, I think. I mean, you don't have to just walk up. But yeah, I just think there's been a lot of other factors going on. But on the flip side, you got to think that you got a whole new offense that's been put in, and a quarterback pretty much penciled in that's got a lot of credentials coming in here, and nobody's got a chance to see him yet. So I think that number is going to go up, but it doesn't really. I mean, in my mind, even half full, that stadium half full, is still got to be pretty impressive for any of these potential recruits coming in to watch the game. Because I'll go back to what we mentioned earlier. I watched some of that Michigan spring game, and I didn't see very many people there in the stands for that. So
I don't know if it was 10% full.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing when I kept seeing the wide shots of what was going on there.
For a team that won the Big Ten championship
Right,
last year.
exactly. So it is what it is. I think it's just a time of what's going on in the world right now, and how much gas prices and food costs and everything has gone up for the average American. And you know what? Maybe something like this is not as big of a deal right now to go attend, because, like you mentioned right when we started, you can watch it on the Big Ten Network. You'll see everything. You'll see more than I will, just being down there on field level. You'll see more than I do, obviously. So, yeah, we'll see. Like I said, though, I'm not too worried about it. It's just a sign of the times, and that number will go up. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets up to about 60,000. We're talking about a stadium that seats just under 90,000. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, Greg, that said about all of us being able to see more on TV than you're going to see on the ground, we're still going to rely on you to tell us what you saw. So Moonbot's asking, what are you looking for in this game? What, who sparks your interest, or what positions, or what are you looking for?
Well, yeah, Moonbot, right off, I already said, I think the number one thing I want to see is number 99 get out of Saturday's game unscathed and walking off at the end of the game happy. That's my number one thing. And that's Ty Robinson, for people that don't know the numbers on the roster. But after that, obviously, I mean, the easy thing is to say quarterbacks, but I'm not going to say that because I've already seen a lot of film on Casey Thompson, and I know what he's capable of. That running back room, and I know Moonbot just drools over that running back room and Jacquez Yant. But that's going to be something really, really cool to kind of see who gets the start and who's getting the most snaps, or the majority of the snaps, and how they rotate guys. And then obviously too, that wide receiver room, and to see a lot of that new talent that they've brought in. So those are two of the things that I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think with a whole new offensive scheme put in, a whole new system. Well, it's kind of a mixture of systems with Mark Whipple and Scott Frost, but I want to see how guys are putting all the knowledge that they've been taking in, and it's not even close to being done. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot left to install, and there spring practice really, quite frankly, it's not long enough. But that's above our pay grade. But they're still, they've installed what they can, and they'll keep working on things. So that whole offensive scheme and how it's working out is what I'm really looking to see. And the offensive line under Donovan Raiola, I'm hearing great things about the enthusiasm and and what Donovan Raiola brings, to a squad that quite frankly has been looked down upon the last couple of years. And offensive line coach Greg Austin paid the price for that and was let go. And everything I've heard coming in with Donovan Raiola is that it's a different looking offensive line, and there's a lot of talent there too. So that's going to be something interesting to see. And then obviously on the defense, you've got a lot of new faces in the defensive backfield, and you're going to kind of watch what they're going to weed out and see who takes over. Pretty much 4 new spots in the defensive backfield. So that's going to be interesting. And then the defensive line, like we've talked about, is you're going to see a lot of guys that haven't had a lot of playing time, a lot of snaps, get their chance here on Saturday. And God, I just the way I talk about this is like it's going to be a regular football game, and I really hope that it is something that looks like a real football game, but I really don't know what we're really going to witness, and if it's going to actually look like real football or not, or if it's just going to be like a practice. I'm really not sure. But I'm just looking forward to seeing actually seeing what these new guys look like in full pads, because I still haven't had a chance to see that.
Well, what Michigan showed us last Saturday was they played about as legitimate a spring game as you're going to see these days.
Yeah.
Even the quarterbacks were live, except for Cade McNamara, who only played a few series, and then they let the other quarterbacks be live. So legitimate sacks, pressure on the quarterback. So they kind of got after it a little bit.
And that's what you want. You want to see, especially if you haven't seen anything all spring, but you want to see what they look like when they can tackle and bring guys down to the ground. Last year's Nebraska spring game, it was a touch football game until the second half, and it wasn't even any of the good on good doing that. So, it's a mystery right now, and obviously, like you said, Michigan, I thought they put on a pretty good show, and then you had Colin Kaepernick come in there and put on a show at halftime. So that was pretty cool. I give kudos to Michigan for what they did, even if nobody was there in the stadium to watch. But
a number of people have commented, and you already have, Greg, about this team being beat up right now, and Scott Frost just wanting to complete practice and play a spring game and get in another evaluation, but let's keep everybody healthy. So besides Thomas Fidone gone, unfortunately, another serious injury, who is confirmed to be hurt?
Well, we mentioned Casey Rogers, the guy that has not practiced all of spring. And that's not really anything serious. And then Travis Volkolek as well is another key guy that has not practiced all spring. Chris Hickman, another tight end, got nicked up early on too in spring. So right off the top of my head, those are some of those easy guys to name. Defensively as well, not anything other major than that, but obviously, there's key guys. Think about Teddy Prohaska as well hasn't participated since his injury that ended his year last year. And I'm thinking of guys that weren't even. I'm just trying to think of guys that haven't even played in the spring or done anything because they were hurt. So there's a laundry list of guys really that are coming off of injuries from last season, and it's just not worth it to put them through anything in the springtime. So it's more precautionary than you've actually seen any kind of a drastic injury, outside of the Thomas Fidone thing. So that's the only one that's actually happened during the springtime.
63 times we've done this in a row. Thanks to Greg. So get on over to Husker Online Video, especially here on YouTube, HuskerOnline, of course, .com as well. But plenty of video for you from practice, news conference, interviews, the whole deal. Husker Online Video. And, of course, subscribe here at the Voice of College Football. And give us a like while you're at it as well. I'm scanning the comments section here that have been left to the videos this week to see if there's anything to hit on.
When's the last time Nebraska lost?
Oh, yeah.
I think it was that COVID year, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I don't know how much with all the talk about improved special teams and more attention given to special teams, this is really not the time to evaluate it because typically the spring game is basically no special teams except maybe a few goal attempts.
I don't know. I've seen a whole. I'm just saying that I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some special teams stuff highlighted. It's a whole new attitude with Bill Bush being in charge of the special teams now, which he did at LSU and did a pretty successful job there doing that. And this guy's attitude is off the charts, and his charisma is unmatched. Super cool dude. If you ever get a chance to see him in person and listen to him, he'll make you run through a wall. So yeah, he demands that of his guys, and I think we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, like it was really bad, horrible, windy, cold day, and he had all his kickers out there kicking, into a hurricane wind, pretty much. And then you add some of those weapons that they put, like a Trey Palmer, I think is a guy that is bound and determined to run back a kick return or a punt return every game for a touchdown. And he's got the ability, the skill to do that. So I think it's going to be a completely different looking special teams unit. I mean, especially as far as attitude and focus than what you've seen here for the last, 8 years. So, my point is I wouldn't be surprised if they do. If they're not going to play an actual game and try to, fill time and do things, that maybe they do some type of a special teams thing to show. I don't know. But, bottom line is that the one thing you can take away from Scott Frost talking to us yesterday is that they're not going to show you anything. And that's why we haven't had access to it all spring, is that it's a brand new offense. And like Coach Frost said yesterday, is like everything that we've done in the past is on tape. Everybody could watch it. And, now it's a little bit different, and we're not gonna show anybody anything come Saturday. So, yeah, we're gonna see what the guys look like in a uniform. Basically, is what we're gonna see.
Appreciate everybody being here at the Voice of College Football. We're here every Tuesday, so bring some folks with you. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. We'll be back here next Tuesday. Subscribe, hit the bell for the notifications. Somebody asked about Gabe Ervin. Had his best game against Buffalo last year, 56 yards, a couple touchdowns, 2 catches out of the backfield. Is there anything going on with Gabe Ervin right now that needs updating?
It's been pretty quiet with him. He obviously got hurt early on in the season last year, and had been a pretty productive player when he had chances. And he's just another guy in that mix in the running back room that has quite a few new faces right now. And if you got to ask who's the lead dog in there right now, I couldn't tell you. Obviously, Ramir Johnson had kind of taken that job over after Gabe Ervin got hurt. So those were the last two, basically the last two backs for Nebraska that had kind of held that starting spot, and both ended their seasons with injuries. So there's a lot of guys in that room, and like Moonbot always likes to say, the Yankee, he's another guy that's he's got some experience now, and if he can put everything together, between the ears, and he's obviously a very talented guy that could be a difference maker too. But yeah, you got newcomers in there too. That it's going to be a mix, and it's going to be, like I said, I think that's my number one position that I'm excited to go see. At least watch them, go through warm-ups, because you can tell a lot in warm-ups about a guy's ability, even if they don't play in the game. So, yeah, that's obviously that's going to be where I'm parked. That running back and that quarterback spots, I think, is where I'm going to be parked first thing on Saturday.
Here we've got a question about what position. I could blow up the screen. Logan, I want to give you some due credit there, Logan. Appreciate you being here. What are you concerned about? What position?
Defensive line.
Oh, the defensive line. I was going to say the offensive line.
No. Like I said, the offensive line has got a lot of talented guys on there. It's just putting it all together. And, I think with the change in the offensive scheme and, Mark Whipple running things, a guy that's run a lot of pro offenses and a lot of college offenses. He's one of those old guys in the game, a guy that, has forgot more football than most people know at his age. And, so in my opinion, and with Donovan Rail as well, added in there as the new O-line coach, I don't have any concerns with the offensive line. I think it's going to shine. If we go in 3 or 4 weeks into the season and you're seeing the same old, mistakes and penalties and stuff, then I'll have to eat my words. But I think that's a position group that's going to shine. But the defensive line is the biggest question, in my opinion. And obviously you still need to add some pieces. And, that coveted rush end big-time player is going to be here on Saturday, taking it all in. So hopefully, that's a guy that decides that this is the place that he can go help the most. Texas might have a guy already, or USC, or whoever else is coating, or Mr. O'Shawn. So defensive line obviously is the biggest position group that stands out in my mind that they need to establish to be successful again.
John Nestor is a corner out of Marist High School in Chicago. He's the 66th rated corner, 16th player in the state of Illinois. He committed to Iowa today. Somebody's asking whether he's still in play. Do you know anything about John Nestor?
Not a whole lot, but if he just committed to Iowa, I'm not sure if he's visiting this weekend or not. But be kind of rare for somebody to go ahead and commit a couple of days before going to another team's spring game. So I'd probably say no, not in play. But yeah, if he holds an offer, they're not going to stop recruiting him. Travis Fisher is a pretty impressive guy. If you're a defensive back, I don't care if you're a corner or a safety, and Travis Fisher extends you an offer and gets to know you in person, he's a pretty hard guy to turn down, and he's not going to give up on you either. So if he targets you, he's a guy that he wants, and he's bound and determined to get you into the NFL.
Do you think most Nebraska fans regret the school joining the Big Ten?
Probably. I mean, just based off of the lack of production and kind of being one of those blue blood programs that have kind of dropped off into that second tier now. I think collectively, I think they would say that because he had a pretty good thing going there for a long time, with the Big 8 and the Big 10. But I don't know if you looked at it right now, Nebraska was still in the Big 10. What would be going on right now with Texas and Oklahoma leaving for the SEC? I mean, Nebraska would probably be also looking around for somewhere to go at this moment, and the Big 10 would probably be full right now. So, that's a good question.
All right, folks. Nebraska football talk. We got the spring game. That's it. So it's at 1 Central, Big Ten Network on Saturday. And
I won't be watching.
There are so many.
Not the BTN feed.
There are so many spring games on Saturday. I'm going to be right here. Well, not exactly right here because I'm going to be on the main channel. And we're going to go full throttle with all sorts of spring game coverage. There's a lot of spring game football to talk about. There must be 15 to 20 big programs playing on Saturday. So,
well, you can always hit me up, after the thing's over with. So,
oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, we can do a special spring game edition there sometime whenever you're available Saturday.
Oh, I'm gonna be here live watching these games. Yep. That's what I'm gonna be doing Saturday afternoon from who knows, probably noon to about 7.
Sounds like fun.
What we do. What we do.
I guess we just wrapped up basketball season last night, and all of our neighbors here in Lawrence are probably still drinking their favorite cocktails after last night. So you know what? Spring football. It's the switch of seasons right now.
On Saturday, I'll toss out all the FCS and even most of the group of 5. And there's Boston College, Purdue, Cincinnati, Tulsa, Clemson, Kentucky, North Carolina State, Pitt, Arizona, Auburn, Kansas, Nebraska, Texas A&M, UAB, North Carolina, Temple, Stanford, Florida State, Boise State, South Florida, Arizona State.
Wonder if
the
Tommy
next 3 weeks you're going to be humming.
Well, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Nebraska draws the biggest crowd out of any of those that you just mentioned.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
If it's only half full.
Yeah, I would say, oh my goodness, I can't even see anybody challenging them. Let me see, maybe Auburn. Yeah, maybe Texas A&M, Auburn, not Florida State probably. Yeah, there's only a couple that will get anywhere close.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the special thing that, obviously Nebraska has always been known for having a huge crowd for their spring game, but it makes it really special it's an extra home game the way Nebraska treats it. So that's what's cool about when you're hosting recruits coming in from other parts of the country, and they can kind of get a nice glimpse of what game day looks like, because Nebraska doesn't spare any of the bells and whistles. I mean, it is just like a regular season home game. Usually, I mean, it depends on, like I said, the start to everything, but whatever they decide to do after the kickoff, that might change.
Now, see, Logan wants to know, when you go to Dublin, if you're going to have time to do anything besides work.
Oh, heck yeah. That'll be,
Okay.
we'll have plenty of time. We can talk every day if we need to from Dublin, and, we can show you some of the sights and sounds. And obviously I'll have plenty of video feeding through, Husker Online video on YouTube anyway. So yeah, it's all work for us, as far as nobody is bringing their wives with us. And we'll be on the same schedules as the football team. And then we will have plenty of free time as well. Just, we'll have the same free time as the team does. So, nice thing about it is that Sean, our boss, Sean Callahan, has already been over there and done the whole thing for a week, and has scouted everything out and pretty much has all of our entertainment planned out for us for the week. So, it's going to be pretty easy, and a lot of fun.
That'll be sweet.
Yeah. They got you got the Guinness factory there and the Jameson factory there, and there's a lot of things going on that we're probably going to go indulge in a little bit.
Yeah, very cool.
We're looking forward to it. It's first vacation. I'm treating it as my first vacation since COVID broke out. So, a working vacation, but that's how it goes. I usually have a pretty easy way to find a lot more fun playtime than I do actual work time.
Nice.
When I'm on the road.
And they're a lot cheaper that way too.
Absolutely. You have to anyway to enjoy it. To like to have to travel for your job. You need to be able to enjoy some of the extra benefits that come along with wherever you're going.
Folks, join us on Discord. You do that by going to Patreon. Search Mark Rogers TV on Patreon. You sign up right there. I get you the link. You join us on Discord. We've got about 50 folks on Discord talking college football, and you can talk college football like you are right now, but you can do it whenever you want, 24/7, 365. All right. Well,
let's see the question. Colin's question there: who scores the first touchdown on Saturday? I'm putting my money on Trey Palmer.
Okay.
I think he's a guy that's ready to explode. I mean, he is. You can already tell that he's a guy that's just overflowing right now to show Husker Nation his abilities and what he can do on the football field. He's not a guy that shies away from any kind of attention, and he's a pretty confident dude. So, like I said, go watch his interview on Husker Online video from yesterday, and you'll kind of get the gist of what I'm talking about. He's the real deal, for sure.
Very cool. Again, folks, Greg's going to be at the game, of course. I'm going to be here, not on the Nebraska channel, but I'm going to be on the main channel because we're going to be covering everybody. And then you heard it here first, everyone. You got to hold him to it. Greg says when he gets home, he's going to jump online with us.
Heck yeah. Why not?
All right. Love it.
Well, I was going to say I got nothing better to do, but I actually do have a lot of work to do afterwards. But no, it's completely cool. I can work and talk at the same time.
We won't hold you for more than
I can walk and chew gum at the same time, too.
Can you?
Yeah, I'm a pretty talented dude. So when I put my mind to it, I'm pretty talented.
I won't keep you for more than 10 or 15 minutes. I'll let you get back to work, but we would love to see you.
Absolutely.
To get the word from you.
Well, and Also, obviously I get a little different perspective of watching it on TV, and I do get to interact with the coaches and players. So I do get a little bit. I have a little bit more insight than just kind of observing the film that was going on. But that being said, that I also do miss things every now and then from my perspective. So, but it is what it is, And I'll also have one of my intern cameramen up top too, shooting film for the whole game. So I'll have 3 cameras running. I'll have two on the sidelines and one up top. So we'll get everything that happened on there, and you can count on me. I'll have all that highlights. Finally, something I've been chomping at the bit to do since spring ball opened up, and they have not given us a chance to display anything. So, yeah, that makes me happy that finally people that like to watch our videos will actually get to see these guys, in uniform and actually doing some type of football activities.
Got about 100 on the line. And of course, that's the most we've had the entire hour. So you know what you folks need to do that miss most of the show or any of the show. Just wait for the video to post. That'll take about 15 minutes. So just hang in there. As soon as we get done here, the video is going to be there for you to watch what you missed. And hope everyone that's watching or listening is subscribed, both here and over on Husker Online Video. All right, Greg. I think we've done enough.
Yeah, unless you got anything else.
I think we're good. And I'm going to track you down after the game at some point. You just let me know when you walk in the door and you're settled and feel good. And we'll be back here live, I guess, on Saturday, folks. How's that sound?
Sounds fun to me.
Well, who knows? 2, 3, 4 hours after the game, I guess. Something in that range.
I might just bring home a hot dog or two to chow on while we're talking.
Well, hey.
Or Runza.
Hey, if you're giving me a bonus live stream this week, I can't complain anything that you bring on.
Well, we'll see. I wonder, you know what? I think the biggest thing that I want to, my biggest question is what are they going to feed us for the media pregame meal?
Oh,
I
yeah.
got a feeling it's hot dogs and hamburgers.
That's always important. Yeah.
So if that's the case, I'll grab a few extra hot dogs and put them in my backpack because they'll eat just fine, 5 or 6 hours later.
Yep. All right, folks. Appreciate you being here. Again, bonus Nebraska Live after the spring game. So that's obviously in flux. We don't know exactly when that's going to be. So that's why it's important to subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications. So when I send out the notification, you're going to know if it's at 6 or 7 or whenever it is. And we'll be all together back here on Saturday. Good stuff.
Awesome.
I'm excited now.
I am too.
All right, Greg. Well,
I got 3 days to wait now. I mean, well, we do have post practice tomorrow.
Yep.
I know we're hearing from Mickey Joseph and Travis Fisher for our coaches, and then I'm going to assume it's kind of position group thing too. So I'm not hearing from some wide receivers and some other defensive backs. So that will be cool. And then we got to wait Thursday and Friday with no media access, and we'll get to it on Saturday. So I'm excited. It's going to be a fun rest of the week.
Folks, we appreciate all the nice comments of supporting the show, so appreciate that. But Tim in particular, a USC fan, Tim.
Oh, he's back. Nice.
Just jumping in at the last second here. Wants a call-in show tonight. Well, here's the story, Tim, and nobody else wants to hear it again. Me complain about my trackpad that's not working. I can't do a call-in show without a trackpad, so we'll figure it out. Then I brought out this dinosaur to see if that would help.
That probably. I think I saw a few keys missing off of that.
But that doesn't replace that anyway. So I don't know what's going on. We'll shut everything down and reset it.
I want to tell if Tim's there. I want to tell Tim a really quick story if I can. That's funny.
Sure.
My first game at USC, obviously it was Nebraska USC. that was back there. The last time they were there,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the early 2000s. There, I don't know what year was that.
2015.
2013, something like that. Anyway, so I was down there working, so and I stayed extra 2 days to go to the Nebraska USC game, and so I was meeting up with my best friend from high school and his buddy that went to USC, and they said, "Hey, meet us at Tommy Trojan, the statue of Tommy Trojan on campus there." So I had no clue where it was because I was there. I'm there in front of the Coliseum, and so I get the text message or the phone call saying meet us at Tommy Trojan. So I start walking, and every time I see a USC fan, I start asking them where Tommy Trojan is, and obviously I'm decked out in Nebraska gear, and I kept getting people saying expletives to me, and it's like, hey, where's Tommy Trojan at? It's like, why? What are you going to do to him? So it was really hard to finally get somebody to tell me exactly where to go to meet my buddies at Tommy Trojan. So there you go. That's my funny USC story. If that was fun.
See, as soon as you mentioned the USC game, I thought about the bowl game, the Holiday Bowl game.
No, that's UCLA.
No, they played USC.
Well, I'm talking about
the Holiday Bowl.
They played a home and home with USC here in whatever years it was. I can
When was that?
Fans don't know that.
I can't find it. I don't remember that.
2010 or something like that.
Oh man, I think
Google.
I'm looking at every year. Oh, 2007.
There you go. More like it. Yeah, I was ahead of myself.
2007. 6 and 7. Not the time to be playing USC and Pete Carroll.
No, actually, I mean those were decent games though. And Nebraska had a lot of NFL players on those teams.
Okay. 28-10, 49-31.
Yeah, they were two pretty well contested games. So that's the only time I've ever been to a game in the LA Coliseum, and it was a pretty cool experience. Especially because I had to drive. I drove my rental car down from my hotel, and had to park. I don't know how far away from the stadium, but I ended up having to ride a bus over to the stadium. So it was a very unique experience and something that I'll covet for the rest of my life. Just being there and being able to hear. I mean, obviously, everybody the USC band is awesome. Their fight song they play it all the time is a part of college football as far as I'm concerned. That
sure.
I don't care if I'm not a USC fan or not. I always love hearing the band play their fight songs and stuff. A lot of schools are like that with me. So
Colin's asking, what time are you going to be live on Saturday? Colin, you're not listening. We don't know.
Well,
listen up to the notifications.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll just give I mean, it's not a normal game day. If the game starts at 1 Central, boy, I figure I probably don't get out of there until probably 5 or 5:30 Central at the earliest. Just kind of ballparking it because I don't think there'll be as much going on after post game, but I could be wrong. But yeah, if you're looking, I wouldn't say don't expect me any sooner than 6 Central. Just to ballpark it for you.
Sounds good to me. It all works. I'm going to be here, so
it depends on how much we got to do post game. I mean,
yeah,
we cover the post game press conferences, and that's going to involve a lot of players on the side besides what goes on the podium, and then we'll do our stand-ups on the field afterwards for our post-production videos, and then I'll get right out of there after that. I'm not going back to the press conference. I'll have all my equipment down on the field so I don't have to waste time and be right home as quick as I can afterwards.
Love it.
Good thing is I get a park right next door to the parking lot right there at the South Stadium. So, yes, I don't have to walk very far to get to my car.
Beautiful.
By the time I get out of there, there's no traffic involved anymore. Everybody's already down partying their post-game stuff downtown and everything. So,
all right, Greg. Appreciate it, man. We've done it 63 times. Special edition on Saturday after the spring game, everyone. So be here. Greg, have a great week.
Sounds good. You too. And everybody else there listening.